Hello, welcome back for another Tower of God episode 4 review. I think we're on. But welcome back. We're doing another review. And this episode, I would have to say, was amazing. It was great. So far, the best episode in Tower of God. It completely blew every episode out of the water. Like, by far. It's not even close. This episode was really, really good. So, pretty much to get into the episode and what I liked about it and what I thought about certain things. So, the episode pretty much first starts off with Anak sitting on the throne. In this episode, Anak became one of my favorite characters. I already liked her before. She was just cool before. She was just okay. But now, after this episode, she's like top two. Like her and Kun, and she for a second she almost surpassed Kun. For like the beginning of the episode, up until the last, I think about 5 minutes or so, she passed Kun. Because Anak was just beautiful. But before we get into the Anak part, we have to talk about the Shibisu and Hot's fight. And when it comes to their fight, I was thoroughly surprised, I have to say. I was extremely surprised by Shibisu because Shibisu was actually putting in work. Because I didn't expect Shibisu to be any sort of like, he doesn't have any athletic ability in terms of fighting. I thought he was going to be complete fodder, but he's going to be those Reagan type characters who somehow bullshit his way through the entire series. So I thought he was gonna be that. But when he got the kicking and whooping that girl's ass and that other guy, I was like, okay, Shibisu got some hands. I have to give it to him right there. I really was digging the Shibisu fight. That probably was like one of the highlights, the biggest highlights from the episode. Then in terms of the Hots fight, the Hots fight was pretty cool. It's pretty standard. It's pretty much what I expected for Hots, especially who he was fighting. I saw him like, okay, they're just fodder. He's just gonna go crazy with this boomerang sword. I like seeing the boomerang sword. I think that's really cool. And I noticed like Hots kind of reminds me of Hiei. If any of you seen Yu Yu Hakusho, he's pretty much exactly like Hiei. You know, he's just very dark and monotone, but he's very caring. But he shows in just this obscure way. But that's just something I thought about as I was watching. I do want to talk about the animation real quick because the animation in this episode, at first, I thought it was a little shaky. Well, take that back. At first, I thought it was looking clean, just clean. But then I started to see like it shake a bit, and the art I thought was getting a little shaky. But then out of nowhere, they just turned it up to 100. The episode was just pure gas from there. Once they really put in that budget, everything like started to look so smooth and great. Everything was flowing well. I loved it, but it was for just about 2 minutes, I would say. I thought the animation was starting to get shaky. But then that episode would look flawless with the animation. But to get to the other stuff in the episode, we also get the sleeping guy, which I have neglected to mention, I think, in my other reviews. I can't remember if I mentioned them or not, but I'm assuming I didn't. But I've been meaning to talk about him for a while. But he's always had my curiosity because, he's a sleeping guy in a death game going through this tower, and he's just cruising through everything. And so, obviously, he's supposed to be some obscure character that's supposed to make you pop out because he's so different. I've always been interested in him, and I constantly forget in every single review to bring him up. But I'm glad in this episode he actually did something, and he was actually a pretty strong character. I was expecting the sleeping guy to be so exponentially stronger than Anak and pretty much everyone there. I thought the sleeping guy was just gonna be the wild card, the ace in the end, who just destroys everyone. But Anak came in, and with that green April, ooh. And it was so fire how Anak was just getting pissed off, and she started swinging the sword, and it just went crazy. And Anak was just, oh man, I was loving. Anak was pissed. I love that. Now there's something I do want to talk when it comes to Anak and the fact that she's a jihad. So I'm assuming there are 13 princesses since there are 13 months. I think it's called. I forgot the technical name, but the 13 months of the swords that they have. I'm assuming there's 13 princesses that have that, or might be princes too. But it's pretty much my curiosity is we have Yuri, who is a standard human, I would assume. But why is Anak a lizard? And her being a lizard, on top of what that person who's on Rachel's team said to her, I'm assuming Anak, I don't want to say she's born from like someone else or something like that, because I don't know. But I want to say that she's very different from her family. And so I'm curious on why is she a lizard versus Yuri, who is just a normal human. So I know once we get in the Knock backstory, that should be hidden. But than that, I love the Knock during the fight. It was amazing. Animation I thought was great. I love the expedition in this episode with the whole 13-month sword things. Because we found out, we already have the Black April, or the Black March. And then now we know that Anak's sword is called the Green April. And so I'm curious to see what the other names are and what each sword can do. And I'm curious on what Bam's sword could do, because we haven't seen what Bam's sword can do yet. Because as of right now, I can just see that Anak's sword, the Green April, can just stretch and elongate itself and pretty much separate itself into different tentacles and stuff like that. But I'm really curious on what the Black March can do. So I'm hoping within this first season we'll see more of the 13th swords. But that was it for that part. As for the rest of the episode, when it comes to Kun, he was struggling in the beginning in terms of being my favorite character, because Anak was looking clean. But then Kun came in at the final bit. Ooh, it was nice. It was nice. Because Kun in this episode, he was smooth. Mighty smooth. And I wasn't expecting Kun to actually show any power. So him using the wind and everything, pretty much get the crown. I thought that was cool. But what interests me more was the fact that he was putting things inside his briefcase. And why is his briefcase like an endless or bottomless pit? So I wonder, does that have to contribute to his Shinso? Or does that just the item itself? Is that just a briefcase? And by the way, the Shinso in this episode is pretty cool. I'm glad we got to see that. And I did not think we were going to see that until later on, or like further in the episode. Like when the guy said, I think the moderator, he said level 2 is when you get like the high Shinso or something. So I expected us to see it on floor 2. But I'm glad we got other characters who can use Shinso and we got to see it. So back to Kun. So when Kun was like putting everything in a briefcase, I wonder how that like his power works. It's very intriguing because he had made a false crown, and when he made that false crown, and he was just smooth with everything. He just took the crown, let everybody just chill. They tried to fight him. He maneuvered, dodged, threw out another crown. It's like fight for it, and he just laughed at them as they fought. Like, yo, this is amazing. It was just so clean with it all. I like when the fact he finally mentions that the crown is fake, and you just see Bam sitting on the throne just chilling, and just Kun right there and just sitting there with so much confidence. That part was so great, and that's why Kun's like my favorite character. He just got that finesse. But I love the animation, I love the fights. This episode was great. As for the last thing I want to talk about, that is the Rachel thing. And apparently Rachel wants to kill Bam, or is allowing Bam to be killed. So I wonder why. And I've been told, I'm assuming that's gonna get explained. I see how Tower God like lets a lot of stuff be explained later, because I've been told in the comments before that we get explained to why Rachel is where she is, considering how Bam started Tower first, and we find out why Rachel disappeared in the first episode. So I'm really just curious upon Rachel's thoughts. And while we're on the topic of Rachel, she gave the worst advice I think I've seen ever. Well, no, let me not say ever, but some pretty bad advice, because she said that you should not betray people, and then she explicitly said women. I was like, yo, what? Why are you just picking women? How about just not betray people in general? It was just a really, really fun thing I thought to point out. But however, the episode was really good. A great episode. The best episode Tower got by far. And I can't wait for the next episode, because that fight with Rachel and her teammates versus Kun and Rock is gonna be amazing. I know it. However, it was a great episode. Looking forward to the next episode. I hope you all have enjoyed this review though. Thank you all for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.